the final team here in the state, Valpo gets in. You know, they're the Horizon League Conference Tournament champions. They get the automatic bid. They're moving on. They're the number 14 seed in the Midwest. They're going to take on Michigan State in Auburn Hills, Michigan. This is honestly the worst matchup Valpo could have gotten in the first round as far as the teams that are on the 3 seed line in the tournament. Not only do you have to play Michigan State, which is the type of team that's going to give Valpo the most trouble. A big and physical team, really huge on their front line with Nixon and with Payne down low. Everyone knows that Michigan State with Coach Izzo likes to play a physical brand of basketball. Valpo on the other hand, they want to kind of score some more points. Very senior laden, but they want to kind of get up and down and score. They want to get to that, 70, 75, even 80 points if they can, whereas Michigan's much more comfortable playing, 60 to 65 point games. They can score. They have the ability to score with Appling, Gary Harris, and even Adrian Payne, but they are very physical. Worst matchup for Valpo. The other 3 seeds, New Mexico, Florida, and Marquette, all of those teams on the 3 line would have been a better matchup for Valpo. I still feel like Valpo got a little shortchanged. I think they should have been bumped up to the 13 seed line, giving them a better... just as an example, Valpo against Kansas State. I know Kansas State is really good, but I would feel much better about the Crusaders' chances if they were taking on a team like Kansas State. Michigan State is just a very tough matchup for Valpo, but I will say this. If they're able to make some shots, if Brokoff can get off early, Van Vyk down low, if Bogan's making threes, and Bugs can, put a lot of pressure on Appling, maybe get Appling in foul trouble, they have a chance. If they can somehow find a way to pull that upset over Michigan State, that second round opponent would be huge for Valpo, as it would favor them, because in that second round they would play either Memphis or the winner of Middle Tennessee State and St. Mary's. They would match up great against any of those 3 teams. So I'm looking at Valpo. I understand Michigan State's a tough matchup for them. It's going to be very difficult to beat Sparty in Auburn Hills. If they can pull that off, not only is that a shock to the country, but I'll tell you this, if Valpo wins that first game that they play, they will be in the Sweet 16 because they will beat any of those 3 teams that are on the other side of that bracket from them right now. That would be huge for Valpo, getting back to the Sweet 16 since the first time since 1998 when they were led by Bryce Drew. Who's the Valpo head coach right now? Bryce Drew. That would be huge. Couple other quick Indiana storylines that are out there. There's a ton of them. We always know that there's kids from Indiana that are on teams. One big one is NC State, which is a team that IU could face in their second game if they're able to get past Temple. NC State has Scott Wood on the team. He's a senior from Marion, Indiana. He holds the school record for 3-pointers in a career. Unbelievable shooter. He could be going up against his home state squad in the tournament. And here's the one big thing that I was noticing when the brackets came out, and it has to do with New Mexico. A lot of people already out there know that New Mexico is coached by Steve Alford, an IU legend, an Indiana basketball legend. New Mexico could be a big sleeper pick to make it to the Final Four. They're playing unbelievable basketball right now. Mountain West regular season and conference tournament champions. But as you look at New Mexico right now, in that second round game, the game above theirs, they would take on the winner of Arizona and Belmont. Don't sleep on Belmont. They're an unbelievable scoring team, and they have a kid on their team, Spencer Turner, from Bloomington South. He was on a couple state championship teams there at Bloomington South, and he's a very, very good shooter. But he made 2 huge plays in their conference tournament championship game a week ago to seal the deal for Belmont over Murray State. I like Belmont in their matchup against Arizona. I think that they're going to really push the Wildcats, but that could be a matchup there with one Indiana kid against an Indiana coach and Steve Alford. Just a couple of tidbits out there for some other Indiana basketball fans in general. Big things could be happening. I like 3 of the Indiana teams to make pretty deep runs in this tournament. I like Butler to win a couple. I like Notre Dame has the opportunity to win a couple. Ohio State in that second round could be tough. And I like IU. I like the way that their bracket shakes out for them. I don't think they're going to have a push until at least the Sweet 16, and that's only if Syracuse gets there. So they might not have a tough game for them matchup-wise until the Elite 8. And then, as we always know, anything can happen in those Elite 8 games. So thanks for coming to IndySportsCrew.com. Make sure you go to ESPN.com and find the Indy Sports Crew Bracket Challenge on there. Get signed up. The winner's going to get the traveling trophy. Pride for a year, a box of donuts, and your own video here on IndySportsCrew.com. Thanks, and we'll talk to you again soon.